Now, may I invite Dr. Mrs. Mamta Agarwal, who is the Additional Secretary, Association of Indian Universities. Prior to this, she worked as Joint Secretary, University Grants Commission,
your present.
and Director, Education and Nabyuk Schools, New Delhi. She has extensive academic experience of more than 20 years working at higher education sector, ethics national level academic bodies like University Grants Commission, Association of Indian Universities, DGSIP University and Allied Systems. She has a deep understanding of the higher education system, the functioning of regulatory bodies, universities, colleges, open and distance learning system. She is formulating policies as well as being beneficiary, implementing functionary of the same at the institutional level. His Excellency, the President of India, has nominated Mrs. Agarwal as a nominee on the Board of Governors of National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Kolkata, an institute of national importance. Additionally, she is a member on the Board of Governors governing bodies of many universities and colleges. Ma'am, it is indeed an honor to have you here. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good morning to all of you. I would not consider myself here as the chief guest because for me, the chief guest of the inaugural session and for any session where he is present remains Dr. Ashok Chauhanji, one of the most dynamic, visionary, and philanthropic leader of our time, honorable founder, president of Amity Education and Research Group. My loveliest lady, Professor Balvinder Shukla, she is a lovely friend and a very progressive academician, a dynamic academic leader, other than being a very, very beautiful person. Professor Amitabh Upadhyay ji, Professor Shastri, Mr. Rajan Sehgal, Chairman of Travel Agents Association and co-chair PhD Chamber of Commerce, just now spoke a very well spoken and shared her rich experience, Miss Sonika from MBD Group. Professor Manohar Sajnani, Director of Amity Institute of Travel and Tourism and convener of this conference, distinguished friends from academia, eminent members of Amity family, overseas delegates, and I'm very happy to know that from all the 6 continents and 27 countries, Amity, being one of the finest universities, is able to invite and attract travel professionals from all over the world. And all my dear participants, it is indeed a proud privilege to share my thoughts on 16th Amity International Tourism and Hospitality Conference to commemorate our World Tourism Day. And the topic is absolutely very, very significant. Tourism building peace, fostering knowledge, a stakeholder's perspective. May I have my first slide, please, which is quote unquote Mahatma Gandhi ji. I have watched the cultures of all lands below around my house, and other winds have blown the seeds of peace. For travel is the language of peace. So, if you really look at it, quote unquote Mahatma Gandhi, that every word which your conference is today talking about, peace, tourism, culture, the only word which is missing is sustainability. So everything is so beautifully integrated in this one quote by Mahatma Gandhi ji. All our previous speakers have spoken wonderfully well and have shared their experience. Sonika ji, I'm sorry, exactly what an entrepreneur who has been in this industry would talk about. Rajan ji, Shastri ji, everyone has given us a rich background, a rich sharing of rich experience as to what the industry is all about. But I would like to engage productively, facilitate some of the informed discussions on the thematics of the tourism and drawing connections between this theory and practice and exactly speaking on the theme which you have said. Try to develop some of the informed perspectives and persuasive communications on what tourism actually does. Any kind of tourism, be it heritage, religious, educational, medical, honeymoon, leisure, vacation, whatever you want to call it. So, actually, when you are transported from your comfort zone, from the zone which you have been living in, a natural habitat of, to a zone which is not a zone which you are very well versed with. I have always been telling my children, family, and friends, everyone, that there are three most powerful natural teachers. One is reading books that mentally transport you to a different world of author's knowledge of the subject, his or her understanding, perceptions, interpretations. Second is traveling, when you are physically transported to a different world. Varied geographies, language, culture, customs, understandings, perceptions, thought processes, leanings, psychological leanings. And third is interaction with people with diverse backgrounds. People from different countries, regions, religions, ethnicities, caste, creed, and so on and so forth. And how do you do that? You get many, many more opportunities by traveling to different parts of your own country, to other countries, to different continents. So you learn a lot from all three. These are natural life teachers. So learn from one and all. Flexibility, adaptability, mutual respect, and care are some of the qualities which are attributed to traveling that are ought to be valued, not as a professional, but as a human being, as part of a community, as part of a nation building citizen. So theme of this conference is absolutely contextual, apt, and significant. There is no better tool than tourism for building peace, fostering knowledge, and especially after this COVID time, and each one of our, as she said, that, vengeance traveling, that, we are just looking forward to undertake this traveling and, use once again for fostering friendships among communities, societies, nations, build peace, support cross border cooperations, and development of tourism ecosystem, the whole of tourism ecosystem which has been disrupted. Tourism is a great source of sustainable economic activity, sustainable economic growth in both terms, direct as well as indirect. I would prefer not to say more because Sonika ji has said a lot about 42 million people being employed in this sector and billions of forex is earned by the country. So it's a great source of sustainable economic growth for the people, a building block for peace and harmony in which cultural dialogue and exchanges are embraced and promoted. I would not mind coining tourism as the one of the most important global peace industry, where tourists can freely engage with local communities and share stories with one another. Meanwhile, break barriers to embrace multicultural understanding. It is my strong belief, very, very fundamental strong belief, that stability and peace can be upheld and fostered in this age of traveling if we can actually call upon ourselves to be global ambassadors, promoting mutual understanding, tolerance, peace through the process of tourism. And now tourism can also be a lot more accelerated, become faster by the use and integration of technology. There would you can actually, as ma'am Balvinder ma'am was very beautifully explaining, that how taking a virtual walk to probably some of the museums, some of the best art galleries, some of the most beautiful monumental walkways, how can we as much be transported to that beauty of the nature to understand that what exactly is that. The tourism has always been a great enabler for peace and development. It fosters exchange of ideas and objectives and helps to make awareness of diversely varied cultural backgrounds. It can certainly overcome conflict and culture peace in its domains of actions. Global citizenship education. Why am I using the word global citizenship? It is in terms of when you as much understand, as much are aware of the sensitivities, the culture, the language, the traditions, the food, the dress, the attire of different varied countries. So you become actually mentally, you are a global citizen. So global citizenship education and peace sensitive tourism. I would come to peace sensitive tourism towards the later part of my discussion. Be any countries or our countries and all countries top priority to raise global awareness and develop empathy for diversity, to foster peace, promote justice and humanity, and solve all the conflicts, all the border level tensions in a much more non-violent, harmonious manner. It can Tourism can be very well used, an effective tool to bring people, cultures, religions together in building global prosperity, development, collaborations, businesses, and providing nations a way to build and rebuild bridges of friendships, fostering common knowledge. And see, even in our academia, all of you would agree with me, all the stakeholders who are sitting here, that when we combine our indigenous knowledge with the knowledge of all other people working on the same topic. Let us even take COVID 19 vaccine. So, if it is developed either in Oxford or in, say, Finland, so anywhere, or say even Russia, which has claimed to have developed a vaccine. So, this knowledge, when it can be put to use for the entire humanity, it is of much larger impact, it is of much larger benefit to each other. Other than, appreciating each other's culture, exploring potential, business opportunities. So, all these things are actually integrated components of a large tourism ecosystem. Tourism also can be used to foster cultural values so that we preserve our history, our culture, our heritage. Because India, China, Greece, few countries which are immensely historically rich in heritage, in terms of monuments, in terms of manuscripts, in terms of everything. So it supports in raising awareness on historical monuments, and it helps to acquire the financial support when more and more foreign visitors visit those monuments. It is imperative for historical preservation activities. We must also not forget that, it actually brings in a sense of pride, a sense of belonging to our national heritage and environment. When we see so many tourists, large number of tourists visiting Qutub Minar, visiting Taj Mahal, that level of confidence, that level of sense of belongingness, the level of pride, that, how rich cultural habitant we are as a country of Indian citizens. So it is exceptionally important for, putting India back on that global map of tourism, earning appreciation, recognition, and instilling that sense. I would not like to discuss, because I think all other panelists were much more knowledgeable, that how India has been the seventh ranker in terms of contribution towards GDP in world travel and tourism. Number of employees, 42 million, Sonika ji just covered, billions of dollars which are being created. So not only it is a direct employer, it is an indirect employer, and it is also integrating multiple people at multiple skill levels to make this industry work. Of course, it is responsible for infrastructural development. Government, wherever more and more tourism is there, government's endeavor and even the local communities' endeavor remains that the travelers do not face any problem. So that way, all the infrastructure is getting developed. But I very strongly believe here that for tourism to develop, a comprehensive ambience is needed. That comprehensive ambience is of safety, that comprehensive ambience is of hygiene, of health. See, all of you may have read many of the stories where some of the women travelers have not been treated with utmost dignity and respect in India. So if we have certain examples, so this will definitely be deter, our tourism industry. So as the ministry has said it, Ministry of Culture and Tourism, that Atithi Devo Bhave. Let's accept this Sanskrit shloka in its letter and spirit and make it actually a country which welcomes each and every tourist traveler across the world with open arms. I'll talk very briefly about this COVID pandemic. It has posed unprecedented challenges to the tourism industry, aviation, hotels, vacation industry, and all involved stakeholders. And I would agree with all my previous panelists that we are waiting for that traveling with vengeance. But before we do that, and as one of the survey which has been carried out by Pacific Asia Travel Association, for all travelers, their safety, their health remain their topmost priority before they undertake any travel. So as we all, as the government, as the country gears up to reopen all the tourist destination in the new normal phase post COVID era, we all the stakeholders, we have to come together of the industry and need to make the entire shift, the focus of tourism to health, hygiene, safety, to attract visitors and mitigate their health risks. So I think along with when I say today that a comprehensive touristic ambience is needed to attract visitors or for our traveling across the world, health and hygiene all of a sudden would become a very, very important thing. Indian government has undertaken various initiatives, and I'm sure all of you are aware of Swadesh Darshan scheme. In the northern part of India, we have one of the states, one of the province, that is Uttarakhand. So a caravan travel they have started. Government has taken out various pilgrimage destination schemes where National Mission of Pilgrimage Rejuvenation and Spiritual Heritage Augmentation Drive is one very, very ambitious schemes. So we require this kind of things for fostering an association, for fostering a men to men, a mental connect among people, for having a much better creation of touristic ambience. We have to be very responsible, peaceful, and environmentally sensitive tourist. Not only whether we are an inbound tourist or an outbound tourist, so that green growth and our entire planet, our entire beautiful planet Earth, can actually be saved, can actually be preserved, and we sustain it not for ourselves but in our generations to come. Tourism not only focuses on what I have already been talking about, it also focuses on enhancing your knowledge, enhancing your skills, enhancing your attitudinal adaptability. It changes your mindset, your psychological leanings. It makes you a much more adaptable person. So, in that way, there is nothing which can actually replace or which can actually take away the most vibrant, the most significant industry of in this terms, that is the global peace industry of tourism. So I would just sum it up in a couple of more seconds, a couple of more, maybe in a minute or so. If you can have my another slide, please. Tourism is a large global growing industry conducted in harmony with traditions of host regions, respecting a country's law, practices, customs, as well as protecting the environment and local communities' pride. It fosters awareness, knowledge, peace among the international community of travelers on the importance of tourism, its social, cultural, political, economic value and connect. Tourism is a powerful soft power. It helps in promoting cultural diplomacy, people to people connect, and thereby promotes friendship and cooperation between India and all other countries. Generally, it has been documented and said again and again that peace is good for most kind of businesses. But for tourism, it is absolutely essential. Tourism can only occur to any extent in peaceful environment, such as every component of tourism can only functions effectively when you have a safe, a cordial, a congenial, a conducive environment. And just before my last slide, I just want to say two sentences that tourism that takes full account of its current and futuristic economic, social, and environmental impacts, addressing the needs of all tourists, all visitors, the industry, the environment, and host communities can only be a sustainable tourism. So, for making and ensuring that this tourism is sustainable, so you have to ensure that environmental resources are optimally utilized, ecological processes and their balances is being maintained, natural heritage and biodiversity is very carefully preserved, socio-cultural authenticity of all the host communities is respected, conserve their built and living cultural heritage and traditional values, contribute contribute to intercultural understanding and tolerance across the world, ensure viable long-term economic operations, providing socio-economic benefits to all stakeholders and ensure that they are fairly uniformly distributed. My last line before we play a 1 minute video, the most powerful video by Julia Roberts. Sustainable tourism should only maintain a high level of touristic satisfaction and ensure a meaningful experience to all tourists, raising their awareness about sustainability, about sensitivity, about ethnicity, about respect for them, and promoting sustainable tourism practices amongst them. I am eternally thankful to Dr. Balvinder Shukla, to Manohar ji, and each one of you for all your, inviting me here and listening to me so very patiently. May I request to conclude with just 1 minute of this very powerful message by Julia Roberts. Thank you.
Some call me nature. Others call me Mother Nature. I've been here for over 4.5 billion years, 22,500 times longer than you. I don't really need people, but people need me. Yes, your future depends on me. When I thrive, you thrive. When I falter, you falter. Or worse. But I've been here for eons. I have fed species greater than you, and I have starved species greater than you. My oceans, my soil, my flowing streams, my forests, they all can take you or leave you. How you choose to live each day, whether you regard or disregard me, doesn't really matter to me. One way or the other. Your actions will determine your fate, not mine. I am nature. I will go on. I am prepared to evolve. Are you?